today's video, I'm not necessarily going to be reviewing Scene 2. Today's video, I really want to compare Scene 2 to The Last Jedi. Hello guys and welcome back to Dylan's Little Hobbies.
Subscribe to Dylan's Little Hobbies right now.
In my next video, I am actually going to be reviewing Scene 2, and I actually really ended up enjoying this movie. I think it's actually one of Illumination's best movies out there. I actually want to talk about the storyline between Ash. I love the fact that they brought her back. I love the fact that they brought back almost all of the characters in Scene. Like, this is so cool. Unfortunately, Mike wasn't in this, which was a darn shame, but because I really like Mike from Scene 1. Ash has an interesting story in this one. I always liked her in the first scene, but she has an interesting story in this one because I can really compare her to the character of Rey from The Last Jedi. And of course, comparing her to Rey, I can of course compare Luke Skywalker to Clay Calloway. They basically have the same story here, and yet one of them I despise, and one of them I absolutely straight up love. What's the difference? Why did that happen? It's the same story beat. It's because Scene 2 did what The Last Jedi was doing correctly and made me actually appreciate the story that they were trying to tell with The Last Jedi and failed. But one of the biggest things I do not like about The Last Jedi is how much it ruins the character of Luke Skywalker in my eyes. Scene 2 just did this storyline so much better. Something that I really think that made the difference between Scene 2 and The Last Jedi is that Clay Calloway is a brand new character. We never heard of this character. Okay, now that's something major, because in The Last Jedi, everybody knows of Luke. Everyone who is a fan of Star Wars knows who Luke Skywalker is, you know? And I mean, I can see if you are a brand new fan and you don't know who Luke Skywalker is, you just watched Episode 7 and Episode 8, it was your first version you ever saw of Star Wars, I can see why you would actually love the story of Luke Skywalker. You know, if you never met Luke Skywalker, never meet your heroes. Rey always thinks of, we even see this in Episode 7, that Luke Skywalker is this mystic myth that this most powerful Jedi ever, you know, freed the entire galaxy from the Empire's rule. And now she goes and meet him, and he's a person, you know, he has problems, he's dealing with things. He's dealing with the fact that his nephew went to the dark side, and you know, he's pretty much just given up. And I understand from story aspects that this could be kind of interesting. The problem is, this is the wrong character to do it with, because everybody knows Luke Skywalker would never give up. That's how we finished the character of Luke Skywalker in the original trilogy. So to see him back and to see him literally give up, being on death's door, wanting to die. He literally says the word, "I just want to die." Like, oh my god, that is not Luke Skywalker, okay? And here's the main thing, he wants to die. That is what's wrong with this movie. Now let's talk about Scene. So, Clay, we never met Clay Calloway. We're just meeting him through the eye of Ash. We know Ash is a fan of Clay Calloway. She can't wait to meet him. She can't wait to get him back on stage. But then she sees Clay, and she even says, well, never meet your heroes. He's not exactly what she was expecting, which means that he's not exactly what we were expecting, which is okay because Clay Calloway is a character we've never met before, so we don't know what his we don't have an idea of what his character is supposed to be, whereas Luke Skywalker we do, so that's a major difference. And you know, Clay Calloway, he's given up on music, he's kind of down. Now, he's never stayed in the movie, and granted, maybe it's because it's a kid's movie, but I prefer it. He's never stayed, oh, I just want to die. No, it just seems like he wants to be left alone. He's retired, he's happy. Okay, he's not happy. He's suffering a lot, going through the loss of someone, and that's something major. Like, that's something that we can all understand. We can understand the loss of somebody. And the thing is, a lot of people can't understand your nephew turning to the dark side. But we never really get to see why Luke Skywalker, at least in Episode 8 in the Last Jedi, theatrical cut, you should check out the Ninjoid cut because the Ninjoid cut fixes this. We never actually get to see why Luke Skywalker turns on Kylo Ren so easily. Why he believes Kylo Ren could be the most evil thing in the galaxy. Why he turns on that lightsaber, you know, only to be ashamed of it later on. We never get to see why. We're only told it's because he saw some great darkness in him. Well, what was that great darkness? If we got like a vision of Kylo Ren killing his mother, or killing Luke Skywalker, or killing Han, and he sees a vision of Ben killing Han Solo, and then turning on the lightsaber, and then feeling grief for that, and finally, you know, trying to talk him down, and then after that, not necessarily giving up, but, you know, trying to find a way, trying to actively find a way to undo this. And that's when Rey shows up, and he's still trying to find a way to undo it, but he's just, you know, it's been so long, and he's kind of lost in his ways, and it is up to Rey to pick his spirits back up. That would be great. But what happens in The Last Jedi instead is Luke gives up. Luke, this character that we have already known for so many years, gives up. And then he wants to go off and die. Clay Calloway never went off to die. He just went off to live his life. Granted, he's in deep pain because of his loss. Something we can understand. Something we can't understand with Luke. And then the major thing that we have with Luke Skywalker, in my opinion, is this moment where Rey literally reaches out her hand to Luke Skywalker, and Luke doesn't take it. Luke says, this is not gonna go the way you think. And you know what sucks about the movie? That's exactly what happens. It doesn't go the way Rey thinks, proving Luke Skywalker right. If Luke Skywalker is supposed to be wrong here, don't prove him right. But that's what they do. They literally prove him right. Okay, so a lot of people say, okay, Luke Skywalker comes back at the end and has his hero moment. Luke Skywalker wasn't even physically there. He fights Kylo, disappears, and then says, you know what? He hears a voice. Okay, it's time for me to go. And he dies. He dies. That is not the way to write this story. Now, what happens to Clay Calloway? Clay Calloway, we learn that his girlfriend / wife that unfortunately died, and he wrote every single piece of his music to represent his love for his girl, and then she dies, so he gives up on music. Now here comes Ash. Ash has always loved his music and wants to bring him back, but she sees that he's in pain, and she reaches out a hand to him. And the difference is, the major difference between Luke and Clay Calloway that makes the story so much better is, one, Clay Calloway isn't there to die. Okay, he's just in a slump. He's done with it. He's done with what's been going on. It's something very understandable, where we can all be depressed when a loved one dies. It's very understandable. With Luke Skywalker, no one died for Luke Skywalker. We can't really necessarily understand just a nephew turning evil. What does that even mean in terms of how you can connect that to somebody, you know? How can you relate to watching your nephew turning evil? You can't. But you can relate to the loss of somebody, and we understand that with Clay Calloway. And Ash lends a hand to him, and he takes it. He says, okay, I'm coming back. And then there's that big moment where he's supposed to go on stage, and once again he feels defeated. He feels like he can't do it. She goes out there for him. She shows that she's not afraid, and she trusts him to come out. And what happens is Clay Calloway does it. Clay Calloway comes out and plays his music once more on stage, and it's a fantastic moment. What should have happened in The Last Jedi is Luke Skywalker should have took Rey's hand. He would have his hero moments, you know? That's the big difference. He would kill Snoke. He would fight Kylo Ren. Maybe to protect Rey, he would die in this fight. He could still try to be reaching out to the soul that is still trapped in Kylo Ren. That would have been great. That would have been great. Instead, his own mother in the exact same movie gives up on it. Everybody gives up on it. Rey gives up on it. This is not the way you write this movie, and it all proves Luke Skywalker right. That is not the way you're supposed to write this type of redemption story with a character who has given up. You know, who is feeling pain, who is going through something that we're supposed to be able to relate to. That is not how you write this type of story. And that is the main difference that I feel while Scene 2 did this storyline about never meeting your heroes correctly versus what they did in Episode 8, where they pretty much just ruined all of the characters. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below of Clay Calloway versus Luke Skywalker. Thank you guys for watching, and I am out. Bye.